I believe that it's important that people have a certain amount of trust in the government. And when I look at how things have gone in the last 6 months, which was a balanced budget, then we have a surplus, now we have 2 rescissions, now we have a projected $200 million deficit. As the Secretary of OPM, how do you explain to them that they should continue to have trust in the planning, budgeting, and projecting that comes out of OPM?
Think about how to answer that. I think that you should, I mean, I have no problem knowing that we have done our level best to project revenue and expenditures in a complicated environment in which there are many, many factors beyond our control and which have been difficult to predict. We have some great, talented people at OPM who have been remarkably good at projecting revenues. We've had some problems there. I mean, there have been some unexpected shifts owing to tax changes at the federal level and economic conditions that have behaved in ways that we have not seen in the recent past. So we are often having to make our best educated guesses. We have also made every effort, and I feel very comfortable that OPM has been transparent about our views. It is true that in the early fall of 2014, we were not projecting a deficit. You might note, if you were to go back through history and look at OPM's projections in August and September, and even October, that we rarely have projected any change from the budget numbers in the first 5-6 months of the fiscal year because we don't have enough information. First of all, most of the volatile piece of our revenue, which is estimates and finals, is 90% collected in April, which means that all the volatility in our budget happens in April. We don't know what's going to happen. Now, today, in January, we at least know what happened in the economy between January of 2014 and December 31st of 2014. So I know, for instance, that the economy, the stock market was up and that there was some volatility in there, which suggests to me that we're probably in pretty good shape to collect our estimates and finals. It means that there were gains to be had and that there were some sell-offs in there, so people presumably took some gains. And that bodes well for our capital gains income. But we won't know until April. None of those taxes have been paid. None of those returns have been filed, and they are hugely volatile. This is a tax revenue that's been up 30% year over year, and it's been down 10% year over year. It has only been between 0 and 10%, sort of a steady state, once since 1991. It is a highly fluctuating, volatile revenue source. We're doing our best to project where it's going to be. We're doing our best to project where our Medicaid expenses will be, and where some of our other taxes will end up. The deficit that we have today is largely the result of the drop in oil prices, which is the result of OPEC's market manipulation, which occurred around New Year's. Began to occur around New Year's. We did not foresee it. We did not build it into any of our models. I don't know that anybody did. If there was an analyst out there who projected that OPEC was going to open the spigots in order to drive the price of oil down to $45 a barrel, that individual or that firm is very, very rich today because that was unexpected market behavior that impacted our budget enormously. The changes in the Medicaid program, and we're pretty good on seeing things coming. $100 million deficit that's opened up now, I think in the scope of a program that is in total more than $5 billion, I'd rather we not have those kinds of deficits open, but but it certainly has happened. I would also point out we have a very tight budget. It includes a very large fraud recovery offset in our Medicaid budget, and we have been aggressive in budgeting savings from various policy initiatives, some of which have been delayed. So we're doing our best. We are really trying our very level best to project the condition of our budget on a monthly basis and to communicate in a transparent way with the public and with the General Assembly about what those projections contain. I think to identify that going from break even to a $5 or $10 million surplus to a $150 million deficit, to describe those as wild swings, those are tiny. In the scheme of things, it's as though if you had a $1,000 a week paycheck, and on Monday you thought you were going to have $2 left in your checking account, and then on Wednesday you realized, oh no, I might be $5 short at the end of the week. The level of fluctuation that we see relative to our overall budget is very small, and we believe that we are, we call them like we see them. It's true we're sometimes we give a little time early in the year to make sure that trends are reliable. But once we enter into the middle of the year and the second half of the year, we do an all-new projection every month and disclose the results of that. And I'm confident that they are right. I encourage members of the public who don't have confidence in those numbers to probe them either through their legislative delegation or directly to OPM, and to consider them. I think the fact that OFA's number, which when you back out the rescissions that we've done, is actually pretty close to ours, is an indication that we're largely have the numbers right. The comptroller has been certifying our numbers. OFA, I guess they only do their projections during session. With their, I think this is the first one that they've done. This, I think, shows that they are also largely in line with our projections. I don't know how else to. Those would be the arguments I would give to a member of the public.
I very much appreciate your time and your responses. Thank you.